So, this is Battlezone 2. I'm doing this mostly at the request of a friend who was curious about the game, hasn't seen any gameplay, or I tried to describe it verbally, and it didn't work out because it's a very difficult game to describe verbally, and I don't even think this will do it good justice. I think one of the things I'll talk about first real quick, because it's going to go away, is that we just did a number pick, and this is to balance the teams. Basically, I pass a number to somebody who's not a commander. The two commanders pick a number. Whoever gets the number closer to whatever was passed gets the first pick. And then, since this is a 3v3, they got the best thug, or they chose, the first commander chose the best person, quote-unquote, or the first pick. So the second commander, the one who lost the pick, gets to pick two people, which ideally would leave us with the least capable player as our third player. It's not like meant to insult anybody. It's not supposed to piss anybody off. It's just the way that we balance the game. So anyway, that was the lobby, and I'm going to breeze over that real quick. You can basically see what ship you're going to be in, what race you're going to be. There's multiple races in the game, and you can see the map. And that's about it, when you're not a commander. With a commander, you can choose which race you're going to be, and that's going to affect all of your units. Each faction has a scout, a tank, some sort of assault vehicle, stuff like that. But they all have their different little quirks. I won't get into it, but there's certain races that are more powerful early game, and then kind of don't get much more powerful at the end game. And there's other races that are very weak at the beginning of the game, and they get very, very powerful by the end of the game. So what race you choose often determines how you play, and during each phase of the game, both early, middle, and late game. And of course it changes the weapons that you're going to be using for the most part. Again, they all fill the similar roles, but they're all different behavior in a small way. And ultimately what you're going to do to try to finish the game. And of course finishing the game implies that you would destroy the enemy's base. The only requirement, and it's kind of important I guess to know, is that in order to win the game, you do not have to destroy the entire enemy's base. You just have to destroy the recycler, which is like an HQ, their main unit, which cannot be replaced, and their factory, which is a building they'll be building to build ships. It's the major production unit for the late game ships. So you have to destroy those two buildings. You don't technically have to destroy any others. So there is a rushing maneuver you can do in this game to target those run into their base and target those two buildings and try to close it out. But I will get on to describing what you'll be seeing here, which, again, I'm pressed for time, is the heads-up display. Bottom right, you got health and ammo. Bottom left, you got a radar. Your scrap bar is on the left. Not so important for thugs to watch, but you do need to be aware of it. And that's your resources. So each commander is going to deploy their recyclers and build the first collection unit called a scavenger, or should I say the only collection unit. I'm very confused. So our commander just Dream, which is Snake, I'll be referring to him as Snake because I just can't help it. I've played with this guy for years. Just hovered over their base and I guess took shots on some of them and also received some. That's not a typical maneuver you see. So in a 3v3, there's less people driving around the map. Some games end up being 5v5, or should I say a good number of games are 5v5. So there'll be a lot more careful picking about where to have your dogfights. Because in this game, where you die matters because you drop the resource. There's only one resource in this game called scrap. You drop scrap when you die. So we already have a scavenger here in mid. It's starting to pick up these little things on the ground called loose, which are little white dots you can see on my radar or on the ground. And each one of those is worth 5 scrap. If you watch our scrap bar here, you'll pick it up and we'll jump up to 16. So it's very important to collect that loose. It's a lot faster than waiting for your pools, which is a deployed scavenger, on a biometal pool, the big white thing in the center, or waiting on your recycler to produce scrap, which is very slow. You don't really want to be doing that. You want to always be prioritizing, especially as a thug, but the commanders of course are watching for it, because it's the frickin' resource. You want to be prioritizing protecting any loose that is generated, usually through dogfights, and collecting it, ideally. So with ISDF, they have a FAF missile and a minigun. You'll see my ship shooting out bullets and missiles, which auto-track. This allows us to do a lot of damage, but what it requires is switching your weapons back and forth pretty quick. Obviously, you have to know the fire rate of each, and just switching whenever the FAF missile is ready to shoot, because it does have a delay. As I said, since it's a 3v3, The dogfights are going to be very carefully chosen here. Nobody really wants to die, because dying will put them at a numbered advantage, and they can easily steamroll the next two. It's not really very good to die unnecessarily in this game, especially dying in the wrong place can be a big deal. So we'll see where the first doggy ends up going down at. But for the time being, what I'll describe is what Feared One is doing. He is using his ship's thrust to fight gravity, and you can stay in the air indefinitely doing this, and you can see that they have momentum. They have all sorts of stuff, and they are going at it. I'm not as capable as the other players on the other team who are hovering currently. I'm not going to try to counter-hover them, which is what my commander's doing. He's up in the sky. He's just now coming down. I'm not going to do it because I know that it will probably spell my death. I'm just not as capable. So rather than make the mistake of dying in the air for nothing, I instead will abstain from that and hit the pool. But I'm watching my radar even as I do so. I'm not really looking at the center of my screen. I'm watching my radar to make sure that I don't get shot by the people in the air. And now I have an opportunity to do some damage to Feared One. He clearly was not expecting to receive that much damage. And this is our opening. We'll kill him. And then, because I can see him but not the other guy, we'll kill Hammer. And then once we've killed Hammer, since Cloquet, that guy is running back to his base because he knows what's coming for him, I'm going to kill the scavenger immediately instead so they do not pick up any of this loose. They just lost the first dogfight, except for one ship, and now they have no scavenger collected, and we have a scavenger right here collecting it. So it's good. We just got the first dogfight and the loose from it. You can see our scrap bar is quite full, and the commander should hopefully soon be ready to build some buildings, which will get us up in the tech tree. In this game, you don't research anything, or anything like that. You just build the buildings, and each building allows you to make different weapons, different ships. You need a collection of buildings to make the most powerful thing for each of these teams, since we're playing the same race, which is what you'll typically see in this game. ISDF is the primary race that is played. But in order to build the best version of that, we'll have to have a good number of buildings and a decent amount of scrap to do so. So they're back in ships. The enemy commander built empty scouts, but this will be our priority because we want to get them out of that fold. And we're calling them empty scouts, not only because they're called empty scout. They're basically a ship that is built that is not occupied by an AI, but they also do not have a FAF missile. So you'll see Feared One on the right side of my screen. He is only shooting minigun at me, whereas all three of us are still in our folds, which are shooting FAF and minigun. So Tricky just made the mistake of not being near his team. I guess he thought that I was engaged, but I was in fact not. I just made the mistake of looking back instead of running, like my commander originally probably thought I should be doing. But now we've both lost our fulls. This puts us on even footing. Two empties, one full per team. It's not great, but it is what it is. You're gonna lose your ship eventually, either by bad placement or something else. But if you look at our little chat bar, you can see Feared One's empty scout was just sniped. Each pilot has a sniper that they can use, typically used in midair because the animation forces you to crouch. Snake ended up kind of getting in this doggy, I guess not expecting Hammer to roll up here. But even as I'm trying to keep these scavs between him and I because I don't really want to fight him. I don't really want to kill him. I want to kill the scavengers so that they don't get the loose. And I'm also watching my radar to see if anyone comes in. Even as I fight this guy, I'm watching my radar to see if anyone's coming in to surprise me like Snake did. He just did a little churn there. I think he may have seen a teammate coming in. Okay, I guess not. They're not even building a ship. I'm looking at the recycler pad right now to see if they're built a ship, and they're not building a ship at the moment. They're not building an empty. Instead, they've got an arm. I will report that to my commander. So they've got an armory, which means they can take these empties and give them better weapons. They can give them basically a gun that does twice the amount of damage as this one. I believe we should be close to an army as well, but I'll admit I haven't been watching our scrap. I've been focused on killing scavengers. He just bailed his scav instead of letting me kill it, so I'm not really sure what that was about. The enemy commander bailed his scav. I guess he knew it was done anyway and didn't want me wasting my ammo. How kind of him. We have an armory and a bay, so this will allow us to make laser as well as chain gun. Laser is the other weapon that typically gets equipped on these scouts, and it's purely for killing other ships. It doesn't do damage, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage to buildings. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but this is the service bay and allows us to get laser, which is good. So at the moment, we have weapons, and they're just now probably getting into ships and getting weapons for them. I'm guessing Feared One is out here because he already has a weapon. I think they've probably called to hit our base pool. So even this me here is hovering, and now because they're hitting our base, I'm going to try to counter-hover them. Not very successfully, probably. Because I'm not very good at this. But I'm certainly going to try. Yeah, the call has been made to hit their base, so we're going to hit their base while they hit ours. This is a strange scenario that you usually only find in like 3v3s, but if you look at my radar back there, they're all 3 in our base. And we've made the call to go and hit their base, so we are going to destroy their stuff, and they are going to destroy ours. I don't know if I particularly agree or disagree with this, it's just what we're doing. And one of the worst things you can do in this game especially is even if it's a terrible, if it's what you perceive as not a good plan, you still need to carry it out with the team. It's very important to do everything with the team. So we've taken down their factory. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can... Oh, I probably won't be able to. This man's probably out of ammo. It looks like I've been abandoned by my teammate. Oh, he was out of ammo. I'm going to die because that man just came in running in on me. Not so good. I guess I wasn't paying too much attention, but their armory is hit up, and they no longer have a factory, which means they have to rebuild it. Not a terrible base hit, but I'll be honest, I don't know what they did to our base. It looks like they killed our upgraded pool because the red on our scrap bar is gone. And they killed our power supplies. I can only imagine they would have killed our constructor too, but I guess not. Or maybe they already did, and the commander rebuilt a constructor and is now rebuilding the upgraded pool. So even buildings, when they die in this game, drop scrap. So that's the thing. You go in to hit the enemy's base, like I did. I'm going to critique myself here. But the buildings drop scrap, and the ships that you pilot drop scrap when they die. So a successful, an ideal successful base hit is to destroy buildings and not die, or not die near their base. Die somewhere like in the middle, because basically if you die in their base, you're also giving them whatever your ship is worth in scrap. Tanks are worth more than scouts in scrap, and so on and so forth. All the different units have different amounts that they drop. So, critique of myself is I died in their well, basically at their base, which is not good. Collecting a weapon, and now I'm ready to do whatever's going on. Our commander has jumped out, I guess, to upgrade foals. And since I don't really know exactly what to do, I will follow I'll just follow the commander. So you'll see him as a 10 on my radar. I'm just gonna follow him. Because there's no longer a whole lot of loose to be fought over, there's not really any pools to be hit. There's a scavenger in mid, which I guess I'll think about going to hit, because it looks like that's what my team is doing as well. But there's not a huge pile of loose, and there's not really much to do, so we're just gonna hit the scavs. We get them down to red, because we don't want one scavenger collecting another scavenger's worth of loose. We get them down to red, then we finish them. That just stops us from destroying one, and then the one behind it picking up its stuff, and then so on and so forth. It's better to kill them very close together, as opposed to allow them... Oh, their constructor's building something. This thing needs to die. And we did not cancel the building. If you kill the constructor while it's building a building, you will cancel whatever it is building. But unfortunately, we did not kill the constructor. But it looks like we probably will kill their pool. They are probably about 99% chance they are gonna hit our base. They're gonna follow my friends, you know, my commander and the thug. Thug's not gonna get away. They'll follow him into base, and then they are gonna hit base. Is probably what's gonna happen. Nope, they've prioritized the scavs, so that's of interest. It looks like Ghetto Pain is going to hover. Probably the pool if he can. But our commander already grabbed pods, which he built for himself, and he's back in action, ready. I'm assuming he's going to defend base until he can get us in ships. He's about to spend 80 scrap, probably, to build a tech center, which gives us a good collection of almost every weapon. And then the last thing he needs to do is build a relay bunker in order to be able to build the tank, the Sabres. The Sabres are the late game unit that pilots will be in. It's just a very good ship. It's a lot better than a scout. Because of the way the game has evolved as time goes on. Uh-oh. I'm talking in the middle of this. What is he doing? Does he have pummel? No? What's he doing? I don't really know what he's doing. What is he doing? So this is one of those things where you just kind of wonder what they were up to. Gonna hover back to base. That is a very good player in my opinion, and he kind of just ran into base, not expecting me to be here and kill them. Okay. That was very confusing, but as you can see in chat, he's very confused as well. He doesn't understand why I'm in base, and I don't understand why he's coming into base with me there. So he obviously didn't see me. If he was reading chat, he probably would have seen, because I'm currently in all chat, that I asked for a weapon, because I thought I needed one. Just going out as a minigun scout against chain gun scouts just doesn't work. So Hammer's gonna get melted, and I'm gonna probably not. Yeah, I'll stick around and help him hit this pool. I wish my teammate would paint back.
Scavenger here. Scavenger here. Lead the way. I'm following. Got it covered.
But I'm low on HP, and if I get caught with the wrong trajectory and an enemy scout comes swinging in, I am gonna look a lot like that enemy did about maybe a minute ago. He's gonna swing into base and get ruined. So I think I just saw some particles. Yep, our commander's building a tank, which is good. That's the late game unit. It will have all the tech, and it will put us in a very advantageous position. I dare to say at the moment we're farther along in tech than they are. It's pretty likely. Yeah, looking at their base, it doesn't look like they have a tech center yet. I'm not going to save that scavenger because it's currently getting harassed by 3 people, and if I get fucking in the middle of that, I'm going to die. So these guys, very perceptive, are already looking at the radar. I'm going to plant the pool before they do. Oh, they have lay scouts. And I'm not even going to fight him. I'm going to run over here to see if I can get my teammates. I'm going to die is what I'm going to do.
Attack my target. Attack my target.
Take a snipe at him. And I missed. Swing and a miss. Which is not uncommon. So one of 2 things could happen. I'm going to go into the enemy base and try to steal an empty. One of 2 things could happen. One is going to be very bad. I'm going to try to steal a ship. I don't even think I'm going to have the opportunity to.
Yes, sir.
And if I'm not successful in stealing a ship, which I'm not going to be. This guy's coming in for it. Okay, Tricky stole a ship. I already used my jetpack, which means going back to base, nigh impossible. It's hopping across the entire map. This guy's going to kill my pilot. He is such a godsend. No, he's not. He thought better of it. So, what I'll do is I'll just kill pilots instead. If you kill a pilot, it takes their sniper because respawn with sniper is turned off. And I'm actually going to kill myself on the constructor. You can just jump at it while it's moving. It'll do some damage to yourself. Okay, they're going to finish me, which means I can get back to base into this saber that my commander has built for me. So now that all 3 of us are in sabers, this is really not looking good for them. The important thing that we do now is just stick together, and they kind of can't touch us. We have superior range. We have the weapon called Blast, which you can see in the bottom right. It has a lot of range, and it does basically half damage to a scout, a little under half. So 2 blast shots and a little bit of this chain gun, and they're going to be melted. So we're going to hit some pools, and then we're probably going to go ahead and hit their base, because they're really not going to be able to stop us. The only thing we'll need to do is watch out for pilots on the bay taking snipes at us, because that basically would allow them to steal a ship. But this is probably over. It's pretty likely this is over. They've called for a base rush, I believe. I'm gonna go back. My commander's doing it, so I'm gonna do it too. They're gonna try to kill our factory and then our recycler. They've tried to base rush us, and they might be successful, or maybe they're just base hitting. They're not hitting our recycler, so that's decent. They're killing a lot of our tech, and they're very smart not to run, or to run and not die. This guy's about to run into a map boundary, I think. It's okay. I can't catch up to a scout, so I'm not even going to bother, because he chose a good trajectory out of base. But that was a free base hit, which is not good. That does set us back. And that's the way it shifts in but a moment. They may even come back for another base hit. I really don't know. What I'll do is I'll kind of take a forward stance and just be ready if they come blasting in at 500 miles an hour. I'll be here trying to kill them. So I just told that scab to deploy that pool. And he's going to try, but he's currently getting shredded by, I guess, some scouts. I don't really know what's over there because it's outside my radar range. They have pummel scouts. So basically they've got a shotgun. It's essentially what's going on here. I don't like the way this looks. There's 3 scouts. I'm with Turkey and a Saber. Our commander's back at base. I'm not really sure I want to fuck with any of this. But we can't just let them run around and kill our stuff. But they are being very smart. They are running before we can get in weapons range. They're just kind of hitting our stuff and running. It's very guerrilla at the moment. I'm guessing they're saving so they can tech up. And when they do, they still haven't rebuilt their factory. But if they can keep this guerrilla stuff up, they might be able to get enough scrap to build a factory. And then maybe a tech, and maybe they'll get tanks. But I think what's more likely is they'll come back and re-rush our base, which is what I think they're doing right now. I see a guy blasting through mid in the direction of our base. I see him on the radar there. He's going in to hit. Okay, well I got a kill, which is good. That's trapping our base. So this guy's hovering, and tanks don't hover so well, but I'm sure as fuck gonna try. Oh, he's way out of weapons range. Weapons range on these things is 170 meters. I am not gonna be able to counter hover that in a tank. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna get the fuck out of base.
Attack my target. Attack my target.
Yeah. Ghetto Pain's complaining about the freezes. I'm not... I guess I do have some. You see these little micro stutters. It's something that's going on in the game currently. I'm hoping one day we can fix it. We don't actually know exactly what it is. We just know it's network related. But there's little micro stutters that can kind of mess with your aim.
Whatever you say.
I'm just going to come over here to protect our units. They don't really have a whole lot of capability to kill us. Or at least unless we're making a lot of mistakes. So we can just control the field for the moment, while I guess our commander's going to build some form of assault unit. I don't actually know what the plan is. We could just base hit and do a lot of damage, but Fear 1 is running into base trying to hit it again. I'm going to go ahead and make the decision not to accompany my commander. I'm going to run home, try to kill Feared, because I don't like the idea that he's going to kill our tech center, but he's very likely going to, and he might even hover away. This is probably a waste of time. Yeah, this is a waste of time. He's going to run in but a moment. Yep. So I've chased him off. He'll probably come back, honestly. But seeing as how I just wasted my time and my commander's right outside their base, he's actually in their base, I'm going to go see if I can help him out, because he's low on ammo. He has no ammo, as you can see at the top under F10. He has no ammo and he's in their base. And if one of those scouts gets after him, they have a good potential to kill him. So if we run in and kill this, I guess that's AI, I don't even know. So right now we've got scavengers in their base that are collecting the loose. This does not bode well for them. But, as you can see, there really isn't a whole lot they can do to stop me. They just have so much health and so much armor. Although I have no ammo, so I am definitely out of here. Just like my commander was, I'm making my way out. My 2 teammates should. There goes Dream. Tricky's on his way. My 2 teammates are going to swoop in and do even more damage. This is probably over. Because they don't have any tech, we do, and unless they... Now that we're in their base, it's hard for them to get in ships and stay in them, so the commander on the enemy team is just going to be pumping ships. He's even called a GG. Just the writing's on the wall, and we all know it. I mean, we have 135 scrap. And this is over. We're just going to keep hitting the base until it's over. Enemy commander actually left, which is something he's been doing recently, and I think it's the microstutters that frustrate him, but he's been leaving before a game is truly over. There are ways to recover. You could get some amazing snipes on us and steal ships, but that won't be happening because I just killed that pilot. Goodness, there's some game state resyncs here that are really... Yikes. That is some bad juju. a really bad dogfight on my part. I'm wondering where my teammate is, because I'm pretty much out of ammo. So I'm hoping Snake will swoop in and save my day, save my bacon. He will. That's good, because I was down to 18 HP and no ammo. But that was just me kind of sitting there, delaying tactic. The enemy commander left, or the enemy, one of the opponents on the enemy team left. So what we kind of do is we do a sitting thing here, where this person is now just going to sit. They're going to do nothing. They're going to sit there, probably on the bay, and wait for somebody to come back. Now, usually that's not a normal thing. Usually people don't leave before the game is truly over. In fact, it looks like my commander might end up dying, which would be entertaining. Oh boy. I guess I'll have to... Okay. Well, return to shell. Oh, he destroyed the enemy team's base. Never mind. I thought maybe he quit, but apparently he destroyed the recycler. Okay, well, that is Battlezone 2. It is hard to describe. I don't even think I did it justice this time. And to be honest, I don't know. I've just been playing this game for years. I probably haven't taken more than a year-long break. I've been playing this game since I was a little wee chap. And I'll be actually recording a few of these. I hope it was entertaining or expressive enough to get across the point of how passionate I am about this game, how much I enjoy it. But I'll probably record a couple of these, and I don't plan to edit them at all. So I'm going to be repeating myself. I'm going to be monologuing. It's going to be painful. And I'll probably just post the best one out of all the takes that I get. So thanks for spending your time and checking this out.